Hey, everybody, and welcome to Shopping with Shana. So, we have a new article this week that I hope you're excited to see. It's from Coupons in the News. Again, I did an article last week. It was specifically about Kroger, but this one is going to be talking about getting the circular ads there. So the ads that we used to get in our newspapers, that you used to get, all the time, and now you're probably seeing fewer and fewer of them. In fact, many of you come to my channel to see our sneak peek ad previews that are on Sundays and then the full ad preview that's on Tuesdays. And you must be interested in looking at the ads because I get so many more views on my ad previews than I actually do on my matchups. So I find that very, very interesting that people are more, interested in what is on sale than actually seeing the best deal. So there you go. This article was written on Wednesday, June the 18th, which is fairly recent, just a couple days ago of 2025. And it says, out of sight, out of mind, fewer printed grocery circulars means fewer sales. Okay. So let's get into this and let's figure out our thoughts on it. So, printed weekly grocery circulars are costly, they're wasteful, they're environmentally unfriendly, and they work. Many retailers have been cutting back on their traditional printed weekly ads in recent years. Walgreens, CVS, and Target have done it by going digital only, but heavily promotional grocery retailers are much more reliant on their weekly circulars. So, they've been much more cautious in cutting back. So, that's very interesting. We have moved into the kind of this digital world. It appears that more of your drugstores and your like more retail stores that sometimes have food with them, like the Targets, the Walmarts, the Myers types of stores, they are cutting back on those weekly ads and doing it more digital. But the grocery stores are more reliant, and probably because people are making plans at home. Sometimes when you're going out to check out the clothes, you're just going to browse, right? And you know you want to buy something, but you don't know what you want to buy just yet, right? So that might be why. Or you can shop online for clothing and stuff like that, where when you're going grocery shopping, you're trying to figure out what you want to buy for the week, how you're going to make your plan, your not only your grocery list, but your menu for the week. And a lot of people will do that based on the sales. So that makes sense on why they need those paper ads in people's hands. Now it says, and it's a good thing because a recent study says they stand to lose a lot of business if they do. So, a team of American and European researchers detailed their findings in the effect of ad ban on retailer sales. The effect of an ad ban on retailer sales. That was hard to say. It was published in the Journal of Marketing Science. They found that even a temporary elimination of printed weekly ads resulted in fewer store visits and a 6% decrease in sales, suggesting that many shoppers who don't see a physical ad don't bother visiting the store. Very interesting. I wonder why that is. So I guess it's more of maybe our minds are visual when it comes to food, and when we see it, we're like, I got to get that. I know now I am engrossed in deals all the time. I don't think there's a day that goes by that I haven't checked the Kroger website or Ibotta or something. I'm constantly involved in the grocery store, but I could see if you're not looking at it on a regular basis, you don't really need to go. I can just eat what's in the cabinets. I don't need to go to the store. Oh, wait, this is on sale. I need to go to the store. So I can get that. All right. So COVID. Of all things, made the study possible. So, in early of 2021, one of Germany's 16 states implemented a ban on certain advertising. When non food retailers complained, they were ordered to close while grocery stores could stay open and advertise their deals. A compromise measure restricted grocers' advertising. So, all grocery stores in the state ended up not printing or distributing weekly, physical weekly ads for 3 weeks. That's interesting. Okay. The specific context provided a rare opportunity to study the effects of stopping print advertising, the researchers explained. So they compared sales data for a national grocery retailer both before and after the ad ban in the impacted state and in the neighboring state that did not implement a ban. Now, my thought is this was during COVID where people weren't getting out anyway. Could that have some effect on it? Yes, of course, maybe they're not getting out because they're not seeing the sales. It's not worth it. But would they have gone grocery shopping on a regular basis on a regular year? Or was it because of COVID that they weren't? So that's a good question to ask if this is legitimate. All right. So I think that's kind of an I don't know. I don't know like what the right word is there. I think that can affect the results. So anyway, they found that an ad ban reduced sales by 6% due to fewer shopping trips. The size of shoppers' baskets did not change, so those who did go to the store didn't buy less. Instead, with no circulars to entice them to shop, fewer customers went to the store at all. Interesting. Our results highlight the importance of print advertising for retailers, the study states. The 6% reduction in sales resulting from the ban is considerable for the retail industry, revealing the crucial role of advertising in drawing customers to the store. Here in the U.S., many grocery retailers quit printing circulars during the early weeks of COVID pandemic, partly to discourage people from chasing deals instead of social distancing, and partly because they simply couldn't guarantee any of their promotional items would be in stock anyway. Those print ads quickly resumed, but some have since tried cutting back. So 2 years ago, and this is where Kroger comes in, Kroger started phasing out delivery of printed ads via newspaper and the mail. Like, I don't see it anymore. It's no longer a physical copy that comes to my doorstep on Sundays like it used to. Um, when I used to do the ad preview, I actually used to have a physical copy, and I take my camera and I would go through the ad preview with my phone. I don't know if you remember that or if you've been here long enough with me that you could see those ad previews. And eventually, once it did go online, I was able to just, screen record and do an voiceover. And so now it's different, obviously. And so, though it promised printed circulars would still be available in stores. Now, I will tell you this, there are print versions of Kroger ads in the store. When you walk in the door, you can get your cart. And right before you walk through the second door to get into the store, there is the printed ads, as well as next to it, we just discovered they have those scan sheets. So if you haven't seen the video that I did about the scan sheets, I will link it at the very end of this video so you know about that. It's a way to scan your coupons as opposed to having to go in and clip them. So it's kind of a neat thing that they're doing, but that's where they are. So even before the latest study, though, at least one industry group warned against the idea of eliminating paper ads. Despite longtime predictions about the demise of retail print circulars, this marketing vehicle is rated as one of the most effective tools. A 2022 report by FMI, the Food Industry Association, noted a Veracast report that same year found that 81% of grocery stores through their digital weekly circular would suffice for most shoppers, but less than half of their customers agreed. Okay, so there you go. Very, very interesting. I have a couple thoughts on that, and of course we're not done with the article. But my thought is with like going into like Black Friday sales, right? I used to buy a huge paper to just get the ads on Thanksgiving. So we would sit there on Thanksgiving and go through the ads like crazy and go Black Friday shopping. Well, Black Friday is now all month long. And so now I'm constantly checking online for the Black Friday deals. I'm not necessarily looking for paper copies anymore. I don't even buy the paper anymore because it's silly. I've already gone through the ads like 15 times by the point they actually come out. So very, interesting that 81% of people said that it would suffice, but half of them agreed. So I do see that. So there's going to be some people, just like with the digital coupons, that using the technology is going to be difficult for them, and so they just want it in their hands, and I get that. All right. And yet, the study's authors say that even after a 6% loss in sales, some grocery retailers may decide that ending print circulars is worth it. The researchers' back of the envelope analysis indicates that one retailer eliminating all print advertising could save more than 76,000 tons of CO2 a week at a cost of $185 per ton. That's a potential weekly cost saving of $14 million, more than the approximately $13 million in lost sales the retailers would experience. Very interesting. Okay. Well, then yeah, that makes more sense anyway, and most people that want to look for it will find it. What are your thoughts on that kind of statistic? So, they would save more by not spending all that money on the circulars, but they would still They'd come out ahead than printing them. I would say just get rid of them across the board, make them online, and then do have a way to put them in the stores. Like, I think that's a good compromise. So they're where you enter, you can just have, 50 of them or so, or, whatever. And those people that really like to have the physical ad in their hand will have it. And now, yes, they can't plan ahead of time. That would be difficult. But again, it's this is the world we're going into. We're going into a digital world. Most people are on board. I get the older people are not, but as we continue down this road, it's only going to get more digital. And as we grow older and our generations grow older, we will be more digital as well. So that's just my thought. Anyway, so getting rid of traditional printed weekly ads comes at a cost, but keeping them can be costly too. In the end, retailers will have to decide for themselves, and shoppers will have to decide whether they still want to shop at a store that no longer offers a paper circular or shop somewhere that does. Okay, so that is the end of the article. What are your thoughts on this? I would love to know. Very curious about that. Do you think that we should still have paper circulars that we're looking at? Let me know in the comments. Are you cool either way? Whatever. I personally am like, I don't use them anymore. I have gone pretty much 100% digital. Now, if I still had one coming, I probably would still look at it, to be honest with you. But now that I don't have one coming anymore, it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. I'm good with it. And honestly, the online stuff is more reliable to me than possibly not getting it on Sunday, because I wouldn't necessarily get it every week. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments about this particular article. And of course, if you like to keep seeing these little discussion articles, do all the things. Give it a great big thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment with your thoughts. And of course, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You ring the notification bell and you hit all so you don't miss anything. And share this with somebody else and ask them what their thoughts are on this, because I'm curious. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your weekend and the rest of your week, and I'll be back with you more deals later. Bye, guys.